Going on, guys? MMA Professor. I'm going to do UFC 111 St. Pierre versus Hardy predictions. In order to get people into the swing of things, I'm going to do the main card on my original channel, and I'm going to put the undercard on my new channel, which is going to be my MMA channel. I'll leave links up everywhere so everybody's happy and things go smoothly and you can navigate easier. So here we go. Undercard. First fight, Matthew Riddle against Greg Soto. Greg Soto training under Kurt Pellegrino. Pretty good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu. He does have the experience here. As you know, he's had more fights than Matthew Riddle. I'm not going to call him Matthew anymore. I'm just going to call him Matt. Matt Riddle made the move. He's trained in a couple different spots. I think he's trained at, I don't know if he's ever trained at Jackson, but I know he trained at Arizona Combat, and now he's training, I think, at American Top Team. Good wrestler. He does have power in his hands. We saw that on his fight to get into the Ultimate Fighter house with a knockout of her similar. But, you know, he's, you know, content to take people down and, you know, basically just grind out decisions. He tried that in his last fight, and Oshipshak TKO'd him for his trouble. And Oshipshak is an underrated fighter. So, in this one, I mean, I think Riddle is the better wrestler. Soto may have the better jiu-jitsu, but Riddle has the more experience, you know, inside the octagon, and I think that's probably what's going to pay off. I think it'll be a close fight, but Matt Riddle, unanimous decision. Next fight is going to be Tomasz Drwal against Rousimar Palhares. This is Drwal's second fight at middleweight. This is Palhares' second fight coming back after a broken leg. Both guys in their last fight gassed a little. Drwal's could be, you know, chalked up to maybe the weight cut affected him. Palhares, he just, you know, was out for over a year. So this one is a tough fight to call because I think Drwal's way of winning it is obviously to hit him with big shots on the feet and hope to TKO him and, you know, maybe use his wrestling to try and take him down because he's got fairly good wrestling. Palhares, he's going to try to take him down, take down Drwal, control the ground game, and possibly sub him. I don't think this fight is going to go the distance, and I got to favor Palhares because Dan Henderson hit Palhares with some pretty big shots, and it didn't look like it phased him at all. He's got a good chin. So I'm going to go with Palhares by second round, late first, second round, maybe second round sub, like a leg lock, maybe a heel hook or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Palhares, submission for the win. Okay. Hamman against Rodney Wallace. I really don't care about this fight. Rodney Wallace is coming off a loss to Brian Stann. Thought he was going to out-wrestle Brian Stann. That's Brian Stann's weakness. Wallace is basically a wrestler. Couldn't do it. Got outstruck. Hamman coming off a loss to Gustafsson in his last fight. I guess from what I've read, he had traveler's flu, decided he was either going to knock Gustafsson out in the first round or he was going to get knocked out, and he got knocked out. So I think this fight could go either way. I think Hamman could KO Wallace. I think he's definitely has the ability to do it, and if he's going to do it, it'll be probably in the first round. If it goes into the later rounds, Wallace could have the advantage because he clearly has the better wrestling. I think there's a high percentage chance. By high, I mean slightly, probably like 55-60% chance that Wallace grinds out a decision by taking him down, possibly even subs him on. But I'm going to pick the upset, if it is an upset. Hamman, TKO, first round. Fabricio Camoes against Kurt Pellegrino. Yeah. Kurt Pellegrino, I think this fight basically comes down to where it's going to take place. Pellegrino has pretty good boxing from all I've heard he's been training with John Chamberg, and his cardio is at a place where it's never been before, and that's scary because I mean Pellegrino's also always had fairly good cardio, good wrestling. Camoes probably has the better straight jiu-jitsu, but Pellegrino's going to dictate where this fight takes place. If he's winning the boxing, he may even take it down, even if he is winning the boxing, because I think he right now has the submission acumen to stay out of subs, and maybe Pellegrino finishes this fight. I'd like to see him finish it because he honestly needs to finish it. So I'm going to go with Kurt Pellegrino, late third round, TKO or submission. Preliminary card on Spike TV. This fight is probably one of the harder ones to call on the card. Ricardo Almeida against Matt Brown. It actually is the hardest one to call, because Almeida's making the drop to 170, so that should help him out a lot. He tended to gas at 185. He gassed in his last two fights. Actually, it was more towards the end of the fights, anyways. Obviously, very, very good on the ground. Slightly improved boxing. Matt Brown, his Achilles heel has always been his submissions. He's been subbed 5 times, I think, and lost a decision to DHK. This is a tough one to call. If Matt Brown can keep it on the feet, I think he needs to stay away from kicks, or as many kicks as possible, because Ricardo Almeida, for being just pretty much a straight BJJ guy, he has pretty good wrestling. I mean, really good wrestling. I mean, he took down Kendall Grove basically at will. And if Almeida gets on top of Brown, that could be some trouble. However, Brown has worked on his ground game. He just fought James Wilkes, who is, very good on the ground in his own right. And Brown really didn't seem to have any troubles. Brown is a tough guy. He's very improved his technical striking a great deal. He's not just a brawler really anymore. He can brawl if it's something he can fall back on, and he's got good cardio. So if Almeida can't get the sub early, I don't think there's really any way he can. I don't think he's going to get it late. So I'm going to go with Matt Brown by unanimous decision, possibly a late TKO. But Almeida's notoriously hard to finish, so we're going to go Matt Brown by unanimous decision. Nate Diaz against Rory Markham. I think this is one of those things where Diaz, having to eat so little and all the weight cut and everything like that was affecting his performances at 155. It's just like Nick, his performances at 155 or 160 or whatever haven't been the best. I mean, if you look back, Gomi was probably one of the better wins that he's had. And but I mean, he was getting beat up in that fight. He lost to KJ Noons at 160, and the other two fights that he had at 160 just weren't that good. And ever since he's moved up in weight, he's been a killer. And I think the extra weight will help Nate Diaz as well. The Diaz brothers, basically what they do is lose to good wrestlers with very good submission defense. If they can't sub you, I mean, Diaz, they don't lose to guys with huge power. If that was the case, Diaz probably would have gotten KO'd by Gomi. Diaz would have got KO'd by Gillard. But make no mistake about it, Rory Markham can win this fight. He's a good wrestler with power in his hands. His defense isn't the best, so he is, he has gotten tagged before. So I wouldn't be surprised if Diaz, maybe he'll have increased power at 170. Who knows? I still don't think he's anywhere near the boxer that his brother is. But I could see him possibly winning the stand-up by peppering Markham with shots. But I'm going to go with Nate Diaz by second round submission. Maybe he'll start to win the stand-up. Markham will try to take it down, and he'll end up getting subbed. It might be pretty similar to the Gillard fight, although Markham won't put himself into the guillotine, most likely, but yeah, Nate Diaz, second round sub. There's my preliminary picks. Put up the links for the main card picks. Stay metal. Later.